Most people mess up their self-assessment tax return and either overpay or risk penalties from HMRC just because they haven't tailored their self-assessment tax return properly. And so in today's video, I'll be walking you through step by step how to tailor your self-assessment tax return correctly. This is part of a series, and I'll provide a link for the playlist in the description. Please watch the series to show you how to complete your self-assessment tax return fully before submitting it to HMRC. Let's get started. If this is your first time here, my name is Amma, a chartered accountant and a tax professional from AB & Co. Accounting and Tax Services. Let's do the walkthrough step by step on how to tailor your self-assessment tax return correctly. So, before you can tailor your tax return, you need to first log in into your personal tax account. And then once you log in, you go to the self-assessment box to be able to tailor your tax return. Therefore, we are going to sign in into our personal tax account. Scroll down until you see Start Now. Once you click on it, it will ask you to enter your user ID and password. If you don't already have a personal tax account, you can use this page to also sign up, all right? Let's click on Start Now. Then, as I said, it will bring you to these boxes. The box that you need is self-assessment box. You need to select that box. So we're going to select it now. Then once you select the box, it will ask you to start your self-assessment tax return for 2024-2025 tax year or any other self-assessment tax return that you are completing. You select it from that page, then it will bring you to this page. You read through the information that has been given to you, and once you are ready, you click on Start Now. It will bring you to a page that contains your personal information, your name, your address, and certain details, your income information. You review it, and if what HMRC holds about you is correct, you tick this box to say, I have viewed this information HMRC holds about me, and then you select Next. Let's do that then. This page is all about telling HMRC about yourself. So the upper part of the form contains personal information, which I cannot share here. Then the next questions you need to complete in order to get to tailor your return is you need to do the following. Marital status is optional, so you can leave it blank. Are you or your spouse or civil partner registered blind on local authority or other register? If it's yes, you indicate. If it's no, you indicate. I have indicated no for this demonstration purposes. Did you receive notification from student loans company that repayment of an income contingent student loan began before 6th of April 2025? If you did, you have to say yes. If it doesn't apply to you, say no. And then you also say no to the postgraduate loan if it doesn't apply to you. Then you save and continue. The next page will be the Tailor Your Return page, which is what you've been waiting for. The Tailor Your Return page has 3 pages. This is the first page, and it's all about certain questions that is going to help HMRC to open pages for you to do your tax return. And so it's necessary to answer all questions correctly so that the right pages will be open for you. The first question is, were you an employee or director or office holder or agency worker in the tax year to 5th of April 2025? If you were an employee, select yes. If you weren't an employee, select no. I'm going to select yes for these purposes. Then you have to indicate how many employers you worked for in the tax year. If it's more than one, select the number here. You can choose the number here. Ours for this demonstration is just 1. Then you have to enter your employer's name. Usually this will be pre-populated, so you don't need to enter the employer's name because HMRC holds that information already. For this demonstration purposes, I've used HMRC as the employer. Then the next question is asking you whether you were self-employed and if your self-employment income was more than £1,000. Was your turnover more than £1,000 for the tax year in total from self-employment? If it's more than £1,000, you indicate yes. If it's up to £1,000, you have to say no because then you don't need to complete self-assessment. If it's more more than 1,000, you have to say yes for HMRC to open the self-employment pages for you to be able to complete and enter the information there. If you indicate no here, there will be no self-employment pages. In that case, it means you are providing inaccurate information. So select yes if your turnover for the whole tax year was more than £1,000. Remember, it's the income that you receive, not the net income, the gross income that HMRC is asking here. All right, so we're going to say no. Were you in partnership? Also indicate yes or no. For this demonstration, we are selecting no. Did you receive income from land and property over £1,000? Again, if you have a property that you let out for rental income that is more than £1,000, you have to say yes for HMRC to open rental pages for you to complete. If the rental income that you received for the tax year was up to £1,000, you can indicate no, because again, you don't need to complete self-assessment because of the rental allowance that HMRC has provided. So we are going to say no. If you receive any foreign income, do you need to complete the foreign session? Please check help before selecting this. This is very important. This is a session that you need to seek professional advice. You may contact us to help you here, because if you're a UK resident, you pay UK tax on your worldwide income or gain, but we will need to review your position before we can tell you to indicate yes or no here. You may want to contact us using the details in the description, or speak to your own tax advisor or accountant to help you here. Going to say no. If you dispose of any chargeable asset, you need to pay capital gains tax, so you have to indicate yes if it applies. If it doesn't, indicate no. Again, you need a professional advice on this also, so you may have to seek a professional advice. We are here to help you, or speak to your accountant. We're going to say no, and then we click save and continue. Now we are on page 2 of the Tailor Your Return. The first question here is, did you receive any interest, for example, from UK banks, UK building societies, UK unit tracts, into bracket, or untaxed foreign income up to £2,000? If this applies, you say yes. If it's not, indicate no. Did you receive any dividends? Again, if applies, say yes. If it doesn't, say no. Did you receive any UK pension, annuities, or state benefit? For example, state pension, occupational pension, retirement annuity, incapacity benefit. Here, if you need help, you need to speak to a professional. That's another place. If you are unsure, speak to a professional, because it's based on individual circumstances. You have to answer yes or no here. Did you or your partner get child benefit payments during the tax year? If this is yes or no for you, indicate it as such. Did you receive any other income, for example, employment lump sums, share schemes, life assurance gains? You have to indicate yes here if it applies to you, for those pages to be open for you to be able to complete it. The moment you enter no, the pages will not be open, because HMRC knows you don't have such incomes. Have you made any income tax losses in the tax year? If it applies, say yes, otherwise say no. Are you liable to pension savings tax charges, or have you received payment from overseas pension? This is a question about if you make contributions into a pension scheme and you make contributions more than the pension allowance for the tax year, there are tax charges. So if this applies to you, you indicate yes, otherwise indicate no. Then you save and continue. So we are on page 3 of the Tailor Your Return page, and the first question that you see is, did you make contributions towards personal pension or retirement pension? On this question, personal pension is the pension you personally open that you make contributions into from your own personal bank account into the pension pot. That is personal pension. So on this page, if you have made such contributions, you have to indicate yes. Again, if you have made contributions into your employer's pension pot, of which you have not received any tax relief on, you may also indicate yes here. So if this applies, you have to indicate yes. I'm going to indicate no. Did you give to charity? For these two questions, they are tax relief questions. So if you are a higher or additional rate taxpayer and you made such contributions, you will get additional relief of your tax tax, reducing the amount of tax that you pay. If you or your spouse or civil partner were born before 6th of April 1935, do you want to claim marriage couples allowance? If this applies, say yes. Otherwise, indicate no. Do you want to claim marriage allowance by transferring 10% of your personal allowance to your spouse or civil partner? If you already have a transfer in place, select no. So if you've already applied for marriage allowance, don't select yes every time. Just select no. You can always apply for marriage allowance if both of you are basic rate taxpayers earning up to 50,270 and one of you is underutilizing their personal allowance. If this doesn't apply to you, select no here. Otherwise, indicate yes. Do you want to claim other tax reliefs and deductions, for example, community investment tax relief, venture capital, trust shares, maintenance? If this applies, indicate yes. Otherwise, it's a no. Have you had any 2024-2025 income tax refunded or offset by S or Job Center? So if for 2024-2025 you have had any tax refund, indicate it here so that you can enter it. This will help HMRC calculate your tax liability accurately. I'm indicating no. Did you have a tax advisor? If it applies, indicate it as such. Have you used one or more of tax avoidance schemes? Also indicate it as such. Are you acting in capacity or on behalf of someone else? Also indicate it as such, and then save and continue. Now we are almost done. All you need to do is to check your progress. You will notice that every page under the Tailor Your Return says entered. It means you are done. That is the end of the Tailor Your Return. This is how you tailor your return. So now you have seen how to tailor the self-assessment tax return correctly. I hope this has been helpful. If it has, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Remember, this is not a tax advice. All our videos are for education purposes only and serves as a guide for personal tailored advice. And if you want your self-assessment tax return to be completed accurately by us, please do contact us using the details in the description or speak to your accountant or an advisor. Also, in the playlist, you will find how to complete self-assessment if you are employee, if you have rental property, and many more. Watch the playlist next. Thank you for watching.